This video describes a trip from the Sheenjek River by way of the Hulahula River, by way of the Canning River, over to Spring Creek. Um, I forget what year this was, and I don't know, this is probably my 15th trip. 15th trip to the Brooks Range. And I'm here with my friends S.P. Parker and Sharky Cornell. And our weather was, and travel, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Sometimes it was nice, sometimes it was raining, sometimes we had a rainbow.
Yeah, okay, so here's dinner, then we'll wander into the tent and read. And
See if we can get up to the corner here. I think it would be good. That's straight line.
okay. Typical travel. Cobble.
Like I said, cobble, some sand, bushwhacking.
Yeah, so now we're going through Field of Tussocks. Okay, so after an early morning river crossing, cold, very cold.
And travel along caribou trails would make life easier for a little bit, not for long distances, but is appreciated. And right now we're headed for the divide between the Sheenjek and the Hula. And the travel was actually pretty nice, and the weather was pretty okay. And of course, the Brooks was working its magic on us.
So lunch break before we have another 1,200 feet up and over this ridge line. And of course, and then of course there's the, okay, it really is, it's been amazingly good walking, and gotta have a little snow. The colorful, the outrageous landscape.
We've crossed the divide and we're headed down to the Hulahula. The tundra color was kind of subtle, quiet. Light was quiet, like it is a lot of the times in the Brooks. This is a morning we woke up to a little bit of snow, but to be expected in a late start in September.
Warmed up a little bit temperature wise down here.
Yeah, warmed up and melted the snow, and the walking flattened out a little bit. And we trudged on. We're headed, I don't know, it's going to be a few days until we get down to 4 days or something like that, down to our food cache on the Hula. We had a lunch break of warm weather where we dried everything out, which was nice. That little hup that you heard was SP shouting into a willow thicket where we happened to run into a mother grizzly and two cubs. And then we had kind of a miserable camp in terms of because it was snowing, raining. We did get a fire going. Man, is that welcome. Big scenery. This is a selfie SP that, I don't know. What do you think? The color, the ground cover was out. Just really pretty. I think we'd just seen about 17 sheep up on the ridge line above us, which was really cool. One of the things we noticed on this trip were these mudslides.
Gotta Google that shit. One of the things I remember.
So we're going to head out of the Hula and over into the Canning and looking into the headwaters of the Hula here. And the beautiful rainbow weather we were having. But that meant that it rained and a little bit of snow. The walking in the brooks is never hard. But then it's never easy. It's not just marching down a trail. There's always a stream crossing. And beautiful color. Beautiful tundra. Great grand scenery at times, but not so much. Now we're headed down the canning to our next food cache. We've got this one and then one more in the marsh fork of the canning.
From whence we came.
This cobble was...
Clicking is my pole.
Oh, sorry to step over myself. Yeah, the cobble was filled with fossils. Pretty cool. And the weather, as we were getting over to our cache, went from a sunny lunch break to cooler, colder, started to rain.
Yeah, I know. Sneak attack.
Yeah, and there was this poor lone caribou out there.
Yeah. More of the canning tomorrow.
So now our packs were loaded with another, I don't know, 5, 6 days, something like that, of food. So they got heavy again. Oh well, at least we were eating well. Now we're headed up and over from the main canyon to the Marsh Fork, and what looked to be like it would be kind of nice, easy travel, and it wasn't. So after a long day, it was nice to set up the tent. Kind of a not that great a spot, but at least it wasn't humping the pack through tussocks and stream crossings. And it was beautiful, beautiful spot. Great view back up the canning, and we had to cross a little pass the next day, and that led us into the Marsh Fork. And this, no, this is not our food cache. Beautiful field of red. I did stop to take pictures once in a while in between stream crossings. And there's Sharky and me talking about who knows what. The walk along the Marsh Fork was pretty nice. You know, when the surface is hard, when you're walking on like over rock, low-lying rock, not talus, then that's pretty nice in the Brooks Range. Not balancing over tussocks or crashing through bushes or stumbling around. And yeah, we saw wolf tracks once in a while. And we got to our supposed cache, and it wasn't there. So I texted Kurt Sweetser, our pilot, and said, "Where is it?" He said, "Oh, it's at the upper."
Our turn is to the Continental Divide, up and over and onto the south side of the Brooks.
Well, that next food drop was a ways up. And we were out of food. Kind of at our worst campsite. Couldn't get a fire going.
Actually, we had a little rain last night. Clear this morning.
And here we are at the airstrip. And we're going to cross to the south side of the Brooks. So we're headed up into the headwaters of the Marsh Fork. This is probably my favorite campsite. I was super determined to get a bunch of wood and have a fire. So yeah, I did that. we we turned up a drainage and headed up toward Carter Pass. And yeah, walking was good. Our weather kind of went to hell. Now it was decidedly cold. We're headed towards into the last third of September, and you can see we're just dressed in full Gore-Tex, and yeah.
So we're just off Carter Pass into the Spring Creek drainage.
And this, I think, was our last camp. Fitting that we should head out to this alpha ice field, not on purpose. We had to, or it looked like the best walking, across a mile of alpha ice.
It's heading down Spring Creek. Our last day.
And we found this little idyllic, mossy, protected little spot. Seemed not to fit with the rest of the trip. So I walked up onto the airstrip and looked down and into the willow, and there was a mother grizzly and a cub ripping apart a caribou. And then I walked over toward a potential photo and saw this cool little herd of caribou. I spooked them, which I didn't like doing, and yeah, they took off. So here's our ride, Kirk Sweetser, and he said the weather was terrible in Fairbanks. And here we are at the refuel site in Arctic Village, and still friends.